How y'all doing again? This is Mark Brown from GateWay Garlic Urban Farms. And we're still harvesting garlic here. As you can see, we've been harvesting some soft necks here. This is a, let's see. This is a silver white. Basically, it's one of your soft neck garlics. As you can see here, the garlic has begun to what they call lodge. And it has fallen over. A couple of the bottom leaves have browned up here. That's usually one of your signifying notes that your garlic is getting ready to harvest. And then, like I said, the garlic has just fallen over. We usually leave this in the ground for about 2 weeks after lodging before we begin to pull up. Right now, this is a little bit past the 2-week mark. But as with all garlic, we just I basically use a spade, digging in there, going beneath the bulb, trying to stay out far enough away from the plant because you never want to cleave into the bulb, and you'll dig it up. Try never to pull them up by the roots. I mean up by the plant itself. Oftentimes than not, especially with soft necks, these will crack right here, and you'll just come up with the plant, and then you'll have to root around in the dirt trying to find that bulb. And we want to keep these greens on this bulb because these bulbs are going to continue to season here. And we'll show you a bit of that here in a second. Let us go ahead and pull the rest of these guys up here so we can make some quick work of it. And again, you know, we'll pull up a dirt ball like this. We try not to clean too much of the dirt off. That's not necessary at this point. There's a walnut sapling. We live in Missouri. Lots of walnut saplings, volunteers. Walnuts and ashes, it seems. Lots of maples, too. And, yeah, like I said, we just basically break up some of the dirt that's on that root bulb, and that's it. Depending on what kind of medium you're growing in, you may have more material on your rootstock if you have more clay in your soil. Clay has a tendency to be have a little bit more mastic quality to it, and it doesn't fall off as readily, which is what makes some people want to wash them. And although we do rinse some of ours when they're running off directly to the CSAs or to the restaurants, when we're storing our garlic for longevity and long-term, especially for seed use, we don't wash them at all. The way nature gives you the plant is exactly how we're going to keep this for a bit. Storing garlic is actually pretty easy. If you have some space, a basement, a garage, a back porch, a barn. Many people like to store theirs in the barn. Cool, dry is preferable. Try not to store them in places that get too hot. If your garage gets too hot, I would suggest you don't dry your garlic in it. We just basically use a little bit of butcher string here. Drop a hoop on it. And we'll bunch up our garlic here.
How dry is dry as far as humidity? 50% or?
Well, what's going to happen is that as this continues to hang. Actually, let me pull a couple of these guys out of here. As these guys continue to hang, you're going to have just real quick here. I'll make a note. Note how I've just loosely tightened this string here. I haven't pulled it tight enough to cut through any of the plant material or to bind it up. That rootstock is going to continue to draw moisture off of this plant, and that you want it to. So you don't want to basically cut the plant off or cut the root off from its moisture source. But as you dry this, all of that green will turn this nice, pretty golden umbery kind of yellow here, and that's usually about the time when your garlic is done, as far as curing goes. At that time is a great time for braiding. We won't show you any braiding now, because if you were to braid these guys while they were still green, they would continue to dry, and your garlic braid would get very loose. Some of the strands would start to fall out, and you're just not going to make a good looking garlic braid. So we're going to save that for another video later on, after this garlic has dried up a bit here. But usually storing this in a nice cool dry area for anywhere from three weeks to a month is usually good enough. If you stored it in a nice dark cool dry area, technically some of these varieties will last months. Actually, I had a braid hanging in my kitchen that was still good about February from last year's harvest, and so that'll tell you what there's 8 months, 9 months. And again, like all our varieties, we mark them. And it's important to mark your garlic, especially if you grow multiple varieties like we do. You'll never be able to keep track of them. And garlic is very difficult to disseminate varieties from. It can be done. Experienced garlic growers can tell the difference between a rocambole and a Creole. But for the most part, if you mark things, you'll save yourself a lot of headaches. So, and there you go. Hanging this guy up, let it dry up. Again, some people like to hang their garlic upside down with the bulbs pointing up. I don't suggest doing that. Again, because moisture works with gravity, and so you want the basically this is the way garlic growers have been hanging their garlic for millennia. So if it's not broke, don't fix it. And again, this has been Mark Brown from GateWay Garlic Urban Farms.